Preface and Introduction to Studies of Trees. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by K. Hand. Studies about Trees by J. Levison. Preface. In presenting this volume, the author is aware that there are several excellent books, dealing with one phase or another of tree life, already before the public. It is believed, however, that there is still need for an all-round book, adapted to the beginner, which gives in a brief and not too technical way the most important facts concerning the identification, structure, and uses of our more common trees, and which considers their habits, enemies, and care, both when growing alone and when growing in groups or forests. In the chapters on the identification of trees, the aim has been to bring before the student only such characteristics and facts as shall help him to distinguish the tree readily during all seasons of the year. Special stress is laid in each case on the most striking peculiarities. Possible confusion with other trees of similar appearance is prevented as far as possible through comparisons with trees of like form or habit. Only such information is given concerning the structure and requirements of trees as will enable the reader to better understand the subsequent chapters. In the second half of the book, practical application is made of the student's general knowledge thus acquired, and he is acquainted with the fundamental principles of planting, care, forestry, wood identification, and nature study. The author recognizes the vastness of the field he is attempting to cover, and the impossibility of even touching, in a small handbook of this character, on every phase of tree study. He presumes no further, yet he hopes that by adhering to what is salient, and by eliminating the less important, though possibly interesting facts, he is able to offer a general and elementary resume of the whole subject of value to students, private owners, farmers, and teachers. In the preparation of Chapter 8 on Our Common Woods, Their Identification, Properties, and Uses, considerable aid has been received from Professor Samuel J. Record, author of Economic Woods of the United States. Acknowledgment is also due to the U.S. Forest Service for the photographs used in Figures 18, 122 to 138 inclusive, and 142, to Dr. George B. Sudworth, dendrologist of the U.S. Forest Service, for checking up the nomenclature in the list of trees under Chapter 5, to Dr. E. P. Felt, entomologist of the State of New York, for suggestions in the preparation of the section of the book relating to insects, to Dr. W. A. Merle, assistant director of the New York Botanical Gardens, for Figure 108, and to Mr. Herman W. Merkel, chief forester of the New York Zoological Park, for Figures 26, 59, and 60. J. Levison, Brooklyn, New York, June, 1914. Introduction. A good many popular books on trees have been published in the United States in recent years. The continually increasing demand for books of this character indicates the growing public interest not only in the trees that we pass in our daily walks, but also in the forest considered as a community of trees because of its aesthetic and protective value and its usefulness as a source of important economic products. As a nation, we are thinking more about trees and woods than we were wont to do in the years gone by. We are growing to love the trees and forests as we turn more and more to outdoor life for recreation and sport. In our ramblings along shady streets, through grassy parks, over wooded valleys, and in mountain wildernesses, we find that much more than formerly we are asking ourselves, what are these trees? What are the leaf, flower, twig, wood, and habit characteristics which distinguish them from other trees? How large do they grow? Under what conditions of soil and climate do they thrive best? What are their enemies, and how can they be overcome? What is their value for wood and other useful products? What is their protective value? Are they useful for planting along streets and in parks and in regenerating forests? How can the trees of our streets and lawns be preserved and repaired as they begin to fail from old age or other causes? All these questions and many more relating to the important native and exotic trees commonly found in the states east of the Great Lakes and north of Maryland, Mr. Levison has briefly answered in this book. The author's training as a forester and his experience as a professional arboriculturist has peculiarly fitted him to speak in an authoritative and interesting way about trees and woods. The value of this book is not in new knowledge, but in the simple statement of the most important facts relating to some of our common trees, individually and collectively considered. A knowledge of trees and forests adds vastly to the pleasures of outdoor life. The more we study trees, and the more intimate our knowledge of the forests as a unit of vegetation in which each tree, each flower, each animal and insect has its part to play in the complete structure, the greater will be our admiration of the wonderful beauty and variety exhibited in the trees and woods about us. J. W. Toomey, Director, Yale University Forest School, New Haven, Connecticut, June, 1914. End of Preface and Introduction. Chapter 1 of Studies of Trees by J. Levison. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by K. Hand. Chapter 1 How to Identify Trees.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?